I'm Lizzy with Long Distance Gamers, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Cytress. This is a resource management area control game based on a cyberpunk world with a fortress, so Cytress. So I wanted to give you another view up here just because of how immense this is and how 3D some of these components are, which are awesome. So what I want to focus on first is the theme. Of course, it's cyberpunk. It is very abstracted out though, but you do see some of the artwork. You get to see some of the characters. It's not traditional cyberpunk as far as what I think cyberpunk is, but it's very based on that kind of mentality. It's thinking we are these people down here and we are trying to sneak up to this rich people area. They, live in paradise. They don't have any of the issues that we struggle with down here. And we're trying to use these tubes to get up to there. So you start very similar with other people. You have your player card, and it will tell you what starting resources you get, if any, and then when people come to these areas to get resources, if they would get it, then you could get it too. So like if this side was the one that was up, and someone else came here, then you could get a money when that person goes there. And they're all slightly different. The pink ones are always the same, and then you get a discount over here. This one just helps you trade. Initially it's 1 for 1, but you can start getting cards that make it better. And that's a big focus for the game, is going and doing these missions, which the missions themselves are probably the only thing that might be a little bit PG-13, because we have, infiltrate, we have sabotage, we have terminate, we have, over here, we have loot, immobilize, which isn't too bad, and abduction is another one. So you have these that, while it's very abstract out, you send your ship here, you pay the resources there minus any discounts you can get, and then you choose one of these cards and you take it. So this player places it there, paid for it, and just immobilized. Or maybe they wanted to loot. So very, very abstracted out. You obviously don't see yourself doing that. And the artwork themselves isn't too, sorry for the pink screen, isn't too vivid or anything. So you don't really feel like you're doing, which may be a good thing, maybe a bad thing. But it makes it so that it's not really an issue to me as far as theme goes. So I like that. Something that I do like is even when it's not your turn, you are still very much engaged on this, because we have these cards over here for bounty hunters. As soon as you get 3 of them, so if you get 3 of these oranges, then you could come over here and get the orange one. The first one is worth 7 victory points, and then the next one is worth 5. So you're trying to get the 3, come over here, get those. You're also trying to have this area control over here, because for this, you get a lot of points at the end of the game for this being here if you have the majority around it. So you kind of have to be careful about where you're building these, because you can build these by flying over here, paying resources. And another thing with the resource track is you have to do 5, 11, or 18. 5, 11, or 18. If you're the first one or second one on these levels, and then, one up here, you get bonus resources back, and you get different victory points for completing that many tubes. So you could get 15 victory points if you do a 3, but it costs you 18 resources. And then you could come over here and reuse them if you match that resource in a pink one. So you'd need to spend 5, 11, or 18 resources of the orange type resource on a pink one. And then you would build your tower and then place your cube wherever it goes. And then end of game is based on majority over here. So I find it just really interesting for that aspect. And something I do really like is this is the player board. So it has the resources kind of like Tapestry, which the tree reminds me of Everdale, the Everdale tree, which I really like those influences in other games because it makes sense. So you get resources over here. You can get bonus points for having resources left. And it tells you how many points you get for each of the levels, how many points you get for majority of the tubes. If you get any variable points for any of these. And then if you ever take any loans, which is another thing you can do, you could come over here and take loan sharks. You get debt, you can get immediate for, but then you would lose 4 victory points if you can't pay it back. But just this is very clear, shows you that first, you get income. Second, you place your leader, and your leader will go into these places. You get that many victory, or not victory, but that many resources. Then you can place your ships to go on the dangerous missions, which is coming to any place that has a ship location, and spending resources and getting a card. So it doesn't really feel like you're going on a mission, you're just managing your resources. And then you come over here, you retrieve all of your things back, you pay off any debt that you might have, because then if your debt is repaid, it instead comes from over here down to over here. And then you flip the Stratus, which is just moving this card over and flipping a new one, or reshuffling and flipping. But yeah, but it's really easy to follow. You can get different skills if you get 3 of the same type. So if I have infiltrated 3 times, I can get this and then get a token that will make it so that if I infiltrate again, I have to spend 1 less resource to do so. So you want to have those. You want to have multiple of the same color to be able to get these bounties. I really enjoy all of that. It's a really good designed, well-designed package. I do like how it's very clear on these cards what their benefit is. You have a line that you can easily follow all the way out. Well, this would go up over there, but these ones would come over here, so you would have a line following all the way out, and so you could easily see what benefit you would get. The only downside to all of this is, as you can see, we're having to overlap these because they take up a lot of space, and this game just takes up a huge amount of space on the table. Like, I have a fairly big table and I don't have much room. I'm even using this ledge to be able to have space to play. If you don't have the space, it kind of is a problem, and it's not like there's much you can do, because other than moving around your player boards, all of this is kind of set in specific locations, so you don't have much mobility as far as that goes. The only thing I could do was just, instead of having it straight up and down, was just turn it. But overall, this was a very easy game to learn, pretty self-explanatory, has a very easy following guides, details out what happens on which ones they affect, how they affect it, and just very easy playing. It's the player interaction that you get by, I know I have 2 pink cards, Brooks has 2 pink cards, I need to get a 3rd pink card and come over here to meet that bounty hunters before he gets a chance to do that. And it's just that going, and I only have 17 of a resource. Brooks has 18. He's going to beat me to this 1st level, so should I just build a 2nd level so I can be sure to beat him there? So it's just the push and pull of that you kind of get. It is more involved and ramps up much faster than I thought it would be just by the initial looking, because if you do this person, you get 1 resource at the start of your turn. So you start with 2 of everything, but some of them cost 4, and then these cost 3. So he could do that one and 1 of those and not do anything else. So you'd start to think, and then some of them you don't even have a starting resource. Like that one, you wouldn't even have a starting resource. It'd be just if someone would go to the money that you would get money. So it'd be dependent on them. So it's like, how am I ever going to have enough resources to build these 3 high skyscraper tubes? But it ramps up very fast. The end of game you can all see coming. The end of game is triggered when you run out of these 2 pieces, because there's only 7 per player, and then you just pull from the box the rest of them, and anyone can build however many they have for the rest of that round. And then you count up your victory points, see who's the winner. I have really enjoyed my plays of this so far. I want to explore it more and just see how I can interact differently, maybe focus instead of on getting money and getting income at the beginning. Maybe I could focus on just getting enough resources to get these tubes built up. So I do really enjoy it. It is an 8 out of 10 for me, and of course that is based on this prototype. So go ahead, check out the Kickstarter, and until next time, just remember to have fun, be present, and be you. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. Also, if you find value in our content, please like, comment, or subscribe. Let a friend or family member know that we exist. Help us spread our channel and bring remote gaming to a table near you. Thank you very much, and have a great day.